everyone, how are you doing today? My name is Karina and welcome back to Ready Set Pan. Today is the 9th update for a pan for Walt Disney, which is a Fantastic Ladies collaboration focused on a whole bunch of Disney movies, etc. I just have a whole bunch of different things happening in this project. I'm constantly changing the numbers of how many products I have in here because I do want to get to all 100 prompts within this project, and it is a 1-year project, so I'm running out of months. Without further ado, let's dive into what I had left. Cowbell, something you wanted to use. Essentially, I had rolled this in at the very introduction of the project, and 9 months later, it is finally done. This is from Pixi Skintreats. This is the Peel and Polish Resurfacing Concentrate. I've given up on the lines there, probably all inaccurate. My husband was the main one who really helped me get this one done. Otherwise, it would still be kicking around. But this is finally out of the project. Radio Rebel, something you didn't want to talk a whole lot about, then talked about a whole bunch later. The Mary Kay Undereye Corrector. So this I use every time I do my makeup. Still some product coming out. The stopper was out last month. So I'm not really doing much in terms of side scraping or anything yet. So another month, maybe 2 on that one. For the Little Mermaid, something waterproof, I had rolled in from Tarte. This is the Double Take Awake. So we have a black liquid liner on this side, and then we have the waterline brightener on this side. I do use them together to count it as a use, and I only use these ones together. Since my last update, I've reached for this 7 times, bringing me to 36 uses in the project. So slowly working on that. The goal, the problem with liquid liners is once I start working on them, I don't really want to roll them out or anything like that. So that one is just kind of in to see how far I get. Next up was Tangled, so a hair care item. I was working on the Briogeo Don't Despair Repair. This is their Moisture and Damage Defense Leave-In Treatment. So I would apply this after the shower. It's been the project since this point here. This is where I was last month, and it is actually as finished off as I can get it. So very, very excited to have this one done. It did take me a little longer than expected. For the Emperor's New Groove, so something you really enjoyed, wouldn't mind trying again for the first time. This is decanted. This was originally the Bali Balm. This is lip balm in sweet orange and coconut, but obviously one of my dogs got at the packaging, so it's decanted into this Laneige. So you're seeing where I was last time with this item. I use it every night as my overnight lip sleeping treatment. And this is the point I'm at now. I'm still kind of trying to wear those sides down. Slow but steady progress on this one. But yeah, it's going to be in for beyond the scope of this project because it takes me a really long time, especially now that it's in a pot. So for Sky High, so this is going to be something that's going to help restore the makeup if you've messed up. Sometimes I would use this as part of the makeup look itself, and sometimes I would use this item as my touch-up eyeshadow. So if my eyeshadows faded throughout the day, then this was a nice one just to throw on top. This is my single eyeshadow from Natasha Denona from the Retro Eyeshadow Palette. The shade is Helio. So I would wear this one all over the eyelids. And I do want to finish this eyeshadow this year, but for this project, I had only rolled it in for 10 uses. So as of last time, I had obviously some progress on this eyeshadow. Very pleased about that. Since my last update, I've reached for it 7 times, bringing me to my 10 use goal, which brings me to this point today. So I've been really focused on this side, trying to hit that side pan. So definitely that pan has expanded a lot. It's not expanding as fast as I was hoping it would, but that is okay. You'll be expecting to see this in a project soon. So for Atlantis, so something that you think is a little bit underrated, deserves more hype, I rolled in Dominique Cosmetics. I really enjoy her eyeshadow palettes. This one is in the moment, and I had put in a 10 use goal on it. So any of the shades were fair game for this. So with this particular palette, last month I only reached for it once. I really didn't do very well. I had a 10 use goal. Since my last update, I have reached for it the 9 additional times, bringing me to 10 uses. It is such a fun, gorgeous palette. I do really like this palette. I wish this memorized shade stayed on the lids better. It faded off my eyelids halfway through the day, so that was disappointing. But a lot of these other shadows perform really well. And I do really enjoy this palette. So it was nice to reach for it again because every once in a while it's like I just want to reach into it. Even though some of these colors are a little bit on the intimidating side, it's just such a good palette. So for Peter Pan, so I ended up rolling in more of a sample size because this was supposed to be something kind of like childlike and smaller and kind of like that kind of idea. So something you would enjoy as a kid, brings out your inner child. So I had rolled in a perfume sample because they're kind of fun when you're a kid, like anything smaller size. So I had rolled in the Carolina Herrera Good Girl EDP. This started at this line here. I got 7 uses out of it and then finished off. So making progress. The Parent Trap. So a couple prompt options here. I went with the you have backups of this. So I had rolled in my Pocket Back in Crisp Morning Air. Crisp Morning Air has scent notes of fresh pine, juniper, and juicy pear. I really love this scent. And you can see this is doing well. So it was completely full and I'm about at the halfway point here. So I'm progressing pretty well with this one. Oh, it's so good. I am really enjoying Crisp Morning Air and it's going to be staying in for another month. For Aladdin, kind of like a dream product, I had rolled in this Pixi eyeliner. This is the Endless Silky Eye Pen. This one is in the shade Deep Plum and it doesn't super come across as purple, but it like dark browns, dark purples, like they look a little softer than a black. So unless you're going for contrast, which can be, again, really nice on a look in itself, these tend to be my more preferred shades. My goal is to finish it because I find these pencils, because they're a little bit more silky, I do have to sharpen them more often just because they wear down faster. So I do have a finish goal on this. I don't think it'll happen in this project, but I have actually reached for it 14 times since my last update. So this is my most used eyeliner in any project. So really enjoying it. It does really fit that Aladdin prompt. Camp Rock, something discontinued. So I had rolled in my Sol de Janeiro Coroca Crush Perfume Mist. I do have 2 of these, so I do want to get this one used up. For this project, I had put in a 10 use goal, and I have reached for it the 10 times. This one has scent notes of crisp pear, pink violet, and white cedar wood. So I am progressing, getting at that about that halfway point now. So slowly but surely making progress. It is a really strong scent. So it was nice to reach for it, but I think this is almost something I have to go in shorter spurts with. Because even reaching for it 10 times was a little bit like, ugh, it was almost a little bit much. Lemonade Mouth. So rolled in a 5-pan palette for this one. So I had rolled in the Ofra Signature Palette in Symphony with a 10 use goal. So this was an unused palette in my collection, and this is what it looks like now. I love this kind of color story. I love purples. I love neutrals. This was an unused palette, which is why I gravitated to picking this one for any of the 5-pan options I had in my collection. And I'm very glad I did because it allowed me to make a decision on this palette. So I use this as an eyeshadow palette 3 times of those 10 uses. And then the remaining 7 times, I just use this highlighter as a highlighter on the face. I'll talk about this more in my declutter video. I know I just filmed and posted one, but we're going to start collecting for my next declutter because I've got some thoughts on this. So I am going to be decluttering most of this palette. I'm going to keep the highlighter. Otherwise, if I wasn't keeping the highlighter, I would have decluttered it and not used it those additional times. But I've at least had a very productive prompt with that one. Next up was Hannah Montana. So this is your alter ego day to night. It's kind of those options. So I rolled in a shade from the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde eyeshadow palette. This is the palette I am wearing today. And I had rolled in the shade Haze, which is a matte color. It's starting to show some use now. It's a little bit exciting. And this one I decided to roll in for 10 uses because I really like this pairing that I have today with Supermoon. Supermoon is in a project right now as well with the goal of hitting pan. So I kind of want to encourage myself to reach for that combo a little bit more. So I've only used it 5 times in the last month, which is really good for like this colorful of a shade. This is what the palette looks like, and this is what Haze looks like right now. I've been really expanding the pan here in Mercury. We're getting close to side pan there, because that's this look. It is Momentum to set the eyeshadow primer, haze in the crease, crease transition area, lower lash line, inner corner, Mercury in the outer corner, supermoon all over the lid, and then Galaxy, which is also in a project, tapped on that inner corner as well. This is the most common look I do with it. However, I do really like that combo of haze as well as Galaxy in the inner corner. The Galaxy shade just kind of tones it down, so haze gives some brightness without it being that bold pop of color. So I need to reach for haze 5 more times to reach my goal, so we'll just keep going on that one. 101 Dalmatians, so something from one of your largest categories. So I opted to go for this from my body wash shower gel category, which is really high in its numbers. So I wanted to go for an easier win. This has been in my hygiene plan to pan for a couple of years now. It's been in my body care inventory since high school, so it's been quite a while. This is from the Body Shop, the shower gel in British Rose. It is not my favorite because it is that floral, but while I was working on this, I got to work on some other rose stuff at the same time, so that was good. This is where I started it last month, so I used the rest of it up in 1 month. This was 60 milliliters, so yeah, very pleased to have that out. And then the last item I had rolled in as of last update was for Read It and Weep. So this is a product you loved before it became popular. So I ended up going for something I don't think has ever been super popular yet, but I love it. And that is from Quo Beauty. So this is their Extreme FX nail color. It is like a topper, and this one was in Periwinkle Pop. I had a 10 use goal, and I'm getting close to that halfway point on this polish. This is beautiful. I have reached for it the 10 times. I really love this one. So yeah, it's a great one. Sad to kind of roll it out, but it's also good so I can use other toppers. All right, so those were all of the things that I had as of the last update. And as you saw, I had met my goal on 9 items, which is so good, especially for that Pixi mask that's been in here since the beginning. Now, like I said last month, because this is now the 9th update and there's still a lot of prompts to go, I wanted to, no matter what, roll 10 new items in today. So because I finished 9, that's actually not too bad. Just so I can kind of get the ball rolling a little bit, keep going, so I can hit all of the prompts before we get to the finale. So that time decisions, wheel just spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning to give me 10 new prompts. So let's see what I'm going to be pulling in for the upcoming month. And I've got an interesting spread of items in front of me, so let's see how I end up doing. We're going to start off with something that would have been so appropriate last month, but that's okay. So it was Luck of the Irish. So this is basically 50 Shades of Green. So like a green product, green packaging, green on the name, something to do with the color green. And I have been wanting to roll this palette in for a little while, and now's the perfect opportunity to do so. This is my Violet Voss All of You Forever. So we have green packaging, and there are some green eyeshadows in here as well. This is what that palette looks like. So this is a neutral but green leaning palette. And I didn't want this going too far into spring simply because this generally leans as a darker palette. So especially these 2 greens in the corners there, they do pull the look a little deeper smokier. So I do want to reach for this one, but I'm going to do it as a no pan left behind, which isn't a ton of uses. I just have to reach for each of the shades once, and I'm going to guess probably 3 eyeshadow looks is what it's going to take me to work through all 3. So I'm very excited, but that is going to be the first thing coming in. Next up was A Race to Witch Mountain, which, if you guys want to know a little secret, this is... I was kind of obsessed with this movie when it first came out. In fact, in terms of like a short time period, this is my most watched movie. So Race to Witch Mountain currently holds my record of within a 6-day period, I watched the movie 7 times. I don't know, something about that movie, I just really loved it when it came out. So it kind of has this really strange, weird record in my movie viewing life. But yeah, most amount I've watched a movie in a short period of time, 7 times in 6 days. I really enjoyed it. Anyway, for Race to Witch Mountain, the prompt is an alien in your collection. So I chose to interpret that as something I only have one item from that brand. And so I decided, there's a couple hygiene items rolling in this month. And I'll explain why. So I'm going to roll in this body butter. This is from Stone Street Soap House. This is their Wholesome Body Cream. So this I'm going to be rolling in because it's the only one I own, like the only item from Stone Street Soap House that I own. It has never been used. It's also kind of old in my collection. I got it in box jar quite a while ago. If I was to mark it, it's starting right up here. And the reason why I'm going to roll this in is because if you're familiar with my hygiene project, Use It Up, I had rolled in Pure Wonder. Now, usually for a body wash, it takes me about 2 body moisturizers to go through one body wash. I only have one body cream in Pure Wonder. So my plan is I want to use the Pure Wonder body cream, neck, chest, and arms. And then I will use something else on the bottom half of the body. A little bit more than the bottom half, but kind of depends how much body cream I pull out. So that way I can enjoy the scent as a set longer. So this is what I'm going to be using on the bottom half, like kind of stomach down. So that's going to be the purpose of this one. As I start finishing up the body moisturizers, but have body washes kind of lingering around, I'm going to use this to help fill in some of those gaps. So I've got a very specific intention with this body cream in mind. It is a 250 milliliter and it's just been in my collection for so long. I was probably going to roll this into my hygiene project, Use It Up anyway, but this happened first, so I'm going to roll it in here. This next one, I struggled with a little bit on this next one. So Pop Eye, something that gives you strength or something that gives you confidence. So lots of different options. I did ultimately land on another hygiene related item, and I don't know what it is. Like when my hands are dry, like there's just something I just really don't like about that. So putting a hand cream on, it makes me feel rejuvenated. Like that's just something that gives me a little bit more confidence, feeling a little bit more put together. So that was my thought process for this. So I've opted to go for a little bit larger of a hand cream. And this is one that I've called somewhat recently because my mom had a whole bunch of extra stuff. So this is from Mary Kay. This is their scented hand cream in Berry Parfait. I do enjoy the Mary Kay hand creams that come in this kind of packaging, and this one has 73 milliliters. Because I'm currently working on pearberry, I'm working on a strawberry scent, I want to pull in butterfly, like there's, I think, a lot that can go with kind of this berry type of scent. So that's why I chose to roll in this one here. And I have used up the citrus sorbet scent of this one before. This has not been used, so my starting mark is right here. I obviously want to finish this. I feel like I go through a decent amount of hand cream. I'm not sure I'll get this completely done in 1 month, but I'm going to start rolling on it and start playing with it. Because, yeah, I'm like, my poor hands are so dry. It feels like all the time, but that's just the transition period right now. And it smells so good. So it's a nice little berry scent. It's going to work with so many of my routines I'm going to be trying to work through this spring. So I'm kind of excited about that one. So that's going to give me my little confidence boost. And so next we're going to move on to Moana. So for Moana, there were 2 kind of options. We could go with more of a green option, which, I had rolled in Luck of the Irish, or I opted to go for more of the blue option because the blue represents the ocean. And I probably should have gone in a different direction, but I also wanted to pull in this palette. I have been thinking about this palette along with the All of You, so I'm going to roll it in anyway. And that is this one from Essence. So you have seen this eyeshadow palette in my Use Those Eyeshadows project, and I had rolled in probably my least favorite shade into that project, which was this orange right here. However, this is going to be a great palette for like neutral everyday looks, but because the prompt is blue for the ocean, I'm going to roll in this eyeshadow in particular here. But that's what I'm going to roll in. I'll put a video up for my starting point. Because I am rolling a particular shade in, I am going to put a 10U school on that blue. So yeah, I've been rocking a lot of a blue outer corner recently. but I just really want to play with this palette, and this was an excuse to pull it out and just enjoy it a little bit more. So I'm going to roll this in for 10 uses. Princess Diaries. So this is something that has changed your makeup routine. Lots of different ways to go with that, but I think often one of the biggest changes, and it's an easy change, like most people can do it really, really easily, is a mascara. I don't feel complete if I don't have mascara on, so that is a staple item. Like, I do a full face of makeup every day regardless. However, even like on quick running out, like a dog walk, usually it's a little bit of eyeshadow, the mascara, sometimes a concealer, right? At the very minimum, we're looking at that. So I'm going to be rolling in this mascara, which is the one that is already open. I don't like having too many open ones at a time. So this is a sample from Clarins. So this is their Wonder Volume Extra Large in 01 Extreme Black. This is what I've been wearing on my upper lashes anytime I've been filming videos in the last month, because the Helio one is just on the bottom lash. It's kind of annoying to build up. We've got one of these big wands right here, so you know, lots to kind of cover there, and I'm enjoying it. It does have a kind of a strange smell to it. Not bad, or like not like it has gone bad. It's just not a normal mascara scent. 3 milliliters. I'm going to expect these always take me longer than I think. Maybe another 2 months to get this finished. And then I rolled in Frozen. So for Frozen, I could go with something that was cooling, something that was snow themed, or something that was winter themed. So what I decided to do for this one is I'm going in a different category direction here, and I'm going to pull in a hand soap because I kind of need a hand soap. I'm just about to finish one right now, and this is for me more of a winter scent, so it fits the prompt in that regard. And again, this is Crisp Morning Air. That's the same as the pocket back that you saw earlier, and this has obviously never been used before, but I'm going to be working on this soap because again, this is like a wintry blue. The scent is kind of wintry. And like there is something about Crisp Morning Air, like that crispness that's in here really makes this more of a winter scent for me. So I'm going to be rolling it in technically, I guess, for spring transition. Goal is going to be obviously to finish it. For Twitches, something new in your collection. So I think this is one of my newest perfume samples. So I've got this one from Burberry. The original Burberry I did not like, but this is Burberry Goddess. This is their Intense EDP, and this one is a gourmand woody fragrance, vanillas and lavender, more vanillas, and patchouli for depth. So we'll see, because I normally don't like patchouli. I normally don't like lavender, but I did like the La Male perfume that also has a lavender note, I think. But I like vanilla. So hopefully this will also help me finish off my Snowflakes and Cashmere Fine Fragrance Mist. I'm trying to get that Fine Fragrance Mist emptied for my next update of my hygiene project, Use It Up. So I'm going to roll this one in to help layer. That is my starting mark. I have not used it before, so we'll see. Right now, it's smelling very vanilla, so I'm kind of excited about that. 3 items left. We're getting there. Next up was Frankenweenie, which was black and white packaging, or black and white product. And I struggled with this one because most of the time, the packaging has something else in addition to the black and white. So what I rolled in is a case that there's 3 colors on here, but I'm going to go with it anyway. Also from the Hygiene Plan to Pan, this is a sample from Formula 10.0.6. This is the Look So Clear Alpha Hydroxyl Body Wash with the charcoal and spirulina. And this is a 50 milliliter. So just a couple of uses in here. And again, that body butter I rolled in earlier could work really well with it. I'm sure it's not completely full, but I cannot shine a light through this. I can't do an accurate squeeze test on this. And this has a safety seal on it. So we'll kind of see how this one goes, and we'll just kind of go from there. For Sharpay's Fabulous Adventure, so basically, as long as the brand is based out of New York, we are good. So there was a whole list of companies, and thank you so much for putting that right in the prompt. So I opted for L'Oreal. And this is, you may recognize from my Plan to Pan for makeup. This is my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Gloss in the shade 312 Rouge Envy. And I decided to roll this in because one, it's L'Oreal, so it fits the prompt. It was in my Plan to Pan for makeup, and I can't tell yet if this is turning, if it has turned. So I'm going to roll it in for 20 uses. I will see how it goes. If it has kind of started turning, then I'm just going to put this also in a declutter pile. Like, I don't think you can see, like I have used, I don't know. I have used this a lot. I really do like this color. I just have so many lip products, and that's kind of a my bad thing, but this is going to be a nice way to test to see, does this need to get kicked out? And then to wrap up this video, the last prompt, I have the perfect item for it. The last prompt was for Beauty and the Beast. And so for that, I had to roll in from the couple options. I went through with the prompt of rose themed. So very conveniently, Bath & Body Works has just done a Disney Princess collection, and I am burning the candle right now in my candle project. Use it up. So if you enjoy that kind of content, check out the playlist. So for Beauty and the Beast, I'm going to be rolling in the Bath & Body Works 24-Hour Moisture Ultimate Hydration Body Cream, the Belle version. We have roses on the packaging. It has scent notes of rose petals, sparkling buttercup, and whipped vanilla. So I'm going to be rolling this in. I'm going to be pairing it up, playing with it. I'm probably going to have to, in my hygiene project, use it up, update, roll in some other rose things to go with this and build a whole routine. But that's what I'm going to do. This is perfect for a Beauty and the Beast prompt. So I'm very, very excited about it. And at least it's springtime now, which is when I would most likely play with a rose scent. So I have pulled 8 items I'm hoping to have done for next month. We'll see how it goes. I might be ambitious. But previously, of course, Crisp Morning Air in the pocket bag. I also would like to get my additional 5 uses on Haze from the Huda Beauty palette. From the new stuff, I want to do my No Pan Left Behind on Violet Voss. Hopefully get 10 uses on that unnamed blue shade. So hopefully we'll see. Finish the Burberry Goddess Fine Fragrance Mist sample. Finish the Look So Clear body wash. 20 uses or declutter on the L'Oreal Infallible. And hopefully also finish the Belle body cream. So those are my goals for next month. Being ambitious, but let's see how I'm able to do. Because yeah, next time we're in double digits for the update. So we're running out of time. But I'm still really enjoying this project along the way. But that is going to wrap up the 9th update for a pan for Walt Disney. So as always, if you made it to this point in the video, thank you so much. I do hope you enjoyed it. So if you did, make sure you give the video a big thumbs up. Let me know all of your thoughts down in the comments below. If you want to see more panning content from me, I've referred to a couple other projects here. There's the candle project, use it up. There's hygiene project, use it up. There's tons of other makeup panning if you just prefer the makeup stuff. Check it out. It's all organized by playlist for your easy viewing. So make sure you check that out. If you were interested, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video very soon. Have a wonderful day.